I think being loved is worth the chance of being hurt. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of Titas, a podcast where we share a cup of love through our stories,
experiences,
and insights,
and what we learned, and how we grew from it.
And I am Kristen.
I'm Niko.
And let's spill the tea.
Let's get started. Let's talk about how we saw love as children. Because, that view of love as a child is a lot different than how we experience it now. As children, you kind of have this simple mindset that love is when a prince carries you off from the top of the bad castle and you live happily ever after.
Or Shrek.
But as Shrek, I was thinking
Shrek and Fiona.
Aurora and Prince. That's not Prince Charming. Whoever it is. But obviously, with our experiences in love, with what we learned through breakups, relationships, even family, it's not at all what we see in the movies, right? So how do we see that now?
I think it's true. I think especially as girls, you kind of grew up watching the princess movies, expecting this man to come into your life and save you from all of life's troubles. And I know personally that's how I grew up. I always looked at love as this dire need of safety. I needed it to feel good and be happy, and all the things in life were gonna align if I just had a man. I thought a man was gonna put everything together and make me feel amazing, and life is gonna be good because a man comes in to save me. And I realized that is not true, and it is not something that is sustainable, because every relationship starts out with all of these imaginations and butterflies, and it's going to be this great...
It's a lot more fun in the beginning, right?
Yeah, very superficial-esque of hormones, and, it's the butterfly feeling.
But that's only in the beginning, right?
Yeah, but then the butterfly leaves. They leave the nest.
Butterflies is just anxiety. Did you know that?
Really? Well, I love butterflies. But
and then, ironically, people always seek out those butterfly feelings when you're in a long-term relationship. Because eventually, you don't feel anxious anymore to see them.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like a drug. What is that thing in your mind? Is it dopamine or serotonin?
Dopamine.
Yeah, so, it's like a rush.
It's
right?
a need. Your constant need for dopamine. That's why TikTok is so addicting.
Really?
Because you get constant feeds of dopamine within the 6 seconds, and you want it more and more and more, and it's the constant feeding of it.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of dulls your mind in a sense. Anyways, that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But, so I truly believed in that aspect of love, the Prince Charming coming in to save yourself. But I think now, after life and all of my relationships that I've been in, romantically, friendships, things like that, I think love is something that is not supposed to be sought out because of your lack, but because you have abundance. In that sense, I think the best type of love is one where you are fully in love with yourself, and
self-love.
You're just overflowing with love, that you just spread it to others around you, whether romantically or in friendships or family. And I think that's the best way to share your love with others, is out of contempt and...
Contempt?
Contempt
is negative.
Oh,
content.
Yeah, I'm not good at English.
English is our second language. We're bilingual.
Yeah, if it ain't foreign, it's boring, right? But yeah, out of content. And I think it's very important to know that the other person that you are choosing to spend a romantic relationship with has that kind of similar mindset. At least for me personally, I think a relationship works best when two people are fully in love with themselves, and they choose to be with each other because they don't need each other, but because they want to be with each other.
It's like what Will Smith said, right? Oops.
Yeah, it's two people at 100%
with themselves, living themselves,
coming together and becoming 200%, instead of two people who are 50-50 and they're expecting the other person to fill them up.
Yeah, but that just comes with like security within yourself, right?
And I think that's the main focus that Valentine's Day should be about.
Loving yourself, guys. Love yourself first. I mean, I hate this saying. You gotta love yourself before you love others. But it's kind of true in a sense where...
No, I think it's totally true.
Very true. Because you have to be very secure in yourself. Like, know your boundaries. Know what you like, stand up for yourself in relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think the most important thing that I've learned through my past relationships is you have to give yourself the same love that you're expecting from another person in a relationship.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like, how are you going to expect this person to come out with these extravagant acts of service and gifts and treat you like how they would in a K-drama, but you won't even, like, make yourself go to the gym, like, or you won't even wake up early enough to read a book or
for yourself
or to eat healthy. It's like
but you can do that for somebody else.
Yeah, it's like or you can't even take yourself on a date.
Those are scary though. Have you ever gone out to the movies by yourself?
No, but I mean, you don't have to go to the movies by yourself, but taking yourself on a date, like when I was going through my breakup, it was awkward. Like, of course it's gonna be awkward at the start, but I took myself to like a park. I brought out the picnic the picnic blanket. I laid it out for myself. I grabbed a book I wanted to read. I grabbed my journal. I journaled, and then I brought stuff to paint with, and I did it. Like, and I just laid out in the park, watched the sunset.
Wow, that's beautiful.
With me, and like I had a fucking great time. And it's like weird at first, but after you do it, it's like one of those things where, when you're older, you just don't care. Yeah. It's like, like if someone's eating by themselves, it's not like...
Who cares?
I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, they're a fucking loner.
What a loser.
Yeah, it's like nothing, like, and if you think that way, like, you're too young to be watching this or taking any of this advice.
Yeah, because it's really not that serious at the end of the day.
But it's true. It's like, if you expect someone to plan out all these intricate things for yourself to like give yourself on a date, like, you have to be able to do that on your own and everything. And then I think when you do that for yourself, I think it sets a standard for like what you want in a partner
and who comes into your life too.
Yeah, because it's like, then that's the bare minimum. It's like, I can take myself out on this extravagant date that I planned out and everything, and I love myself and do this. And it's like, if a person comes in and doesn't meet that, I don't want them.
No. Well, why would you? Exactly. If you can treat yourself better than your partner, why would you want to stay with them?
Exactly. So then your standard is set. You don't have to think that hard about it, and you can leave them. And then when you do get a partner, they surpass that standard, and then it's like you're getting treated like the princess that you deserve to be treated as. They're doing these extravagant, above and beyond things that you deserve to have. And I think that's important. That's an important foundation to have for yourself before you get in a relationship with anyone else.
I can't relate. I was thinking when you were saying that about how I think a lot of people find it uncomfortable to be alone, to live in, not necessarily live in solidarity, but to experience solidarity. Because it's very uncomfortable, at least for me, for my experiences, to, like, be alone with my thoughts
Yeah.
That's why I'm always on TikTok for hours. Because the moment that it's just me and my thoughts, it just spirals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is good to learn how to be able to be comfortable being alone. So I think you have to take like extra measures, like to put yourself out there, and oh
my gosh, I was burped in the mic again. Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's definitely, at least for me, like a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a work in progress. Everything is baby steps.
But at least you're taking the steps.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just like, I mean, because you do things for yourself that are on your own. Like, you go to the gym on your own. You choose to do that. It's like that. You just go to the gym. No one cares that you're going by yourself.
Right.
It's the same thing. You're taking care of yourself and doing this act that helps you mentally and physically.
So, at least we're trying.
Yeah. That's all that life asks out of you, No one's perfect.
We're all trying our best, aren't we? None of us are perfect, but we're not achieving that either.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to be perfect, though. That's so exhausting.
I feel like that is. Though I feel like that's also expected of us, especially as women, right?
Side note, I was thinking this when you were talking. Isn't it so crazy to think that, like, people, like, are afraid to, like, be seen, like, by themselves and, like, be alone and stuff? And, like, so we, like, what's that word? We, like, involve ourselves in, like, these, like, other things to keep our minds distracted, like TikTok, social media, things that are supposed to keep us connected, like Facebook, things like that. Things are supposed to keep us connected to people all around the world, but it's the one thing that keeps us so isolated.
It makes you so lonely, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because
in the end, you're just with your phone alone. You're not actually physically with somebody. So I like how social media is supposed to be, like you said, it's supposed to connect people, but it's also another way to disconnect from reality, because social media is not real.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatever you see on social media is
that shit fake.
It is so fake.
This fake.
I mean, our thoughts and experiences are very much real, but
everything that we're sharing is real to you.
Yeah.
But we don't look like this all the time.
No. We're dressed up for this.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, isn't that ironic?
I know, I think it's crazy. And I think, because it's like, I feel like people gravitate towards it to, like, escape and stuff, when it's supposed to be something that's supposed to connect. It's like just a crazy phenomenon.
It's not actually doing what it was supposed to do in the end. But maybe just because we're so dependent on it now, especially in the digital age, it's just something that we live with. You have to actively try to not be so dependent on it either.
Our society is for sure very isolated. That's why a lot of people are very sad. I learned it in my book that I'm reading, that it's saying that a lot of people, the rates of happiness are decreasing, even though our pay rates are increasing. So it's showing, like, money really doesn't freaking buy you happiness. So no matter how rich you are, it doesn't make you any happier.
You know what makes you happy? I think connections. Not like connections as in, like, for jobs, like emotional connection. Physical connection, maybe.
Spicy.
How spicy.
We're getting spicy now. No, yeah, for sure. I think relationships are the key to having a fulfilling life, honestly. I think when someone is on their deathbed, they're not going to think about the business or the cars or whatever they got. Right. It's going to be the connections that they made with the people that they love.
Yeah.
So that's what Valentine's Day is.
Connecting with the people that you love.
It's connecting with the people you love romantically, friends, Valentine's Day, yourself, family.
Yourself. I keep forgetting about that.
Well, you should start putting yourself first.
I'm trying. It's hard.
No, yeah, for sure. Baby steps.
Did we talk about our viewpoints on love?
Yeah.
I was thinking more in terms of, like, how we saw it when we were younger. kind of wanted to talk about how our viewpoints, at least growing up, was so vast and different. Because, and I'm sure people can relate when, like, my parents were separated. So the way I saw love was very negative.
Yeah.
But, and I always, like, closed off as a person whenever someone would try to love me. And over time, obviously, as I've learned from relationships, you know, it's okay for people to love you. It's okay to let them in.
Because they want to love you. What's there not to love?
Oh my gosh. Dang.
You know, Sita said that, our boss.
I know. And I feel like a lot of people might find value in that. Like, it's okay to let people in. And it's okay to be loved. Because who doesn't want to be loved? I think being loved is the best thing in the world, at least from my experiences.
I think being loved is worth the chance of being hurt.
I see what you mean.
Like, I think, like, taking the chance and, like, feeling the emotion of love and that connection in the relationship and genuine kindness and human bonding is worth the heartbreak and the hardships. Because in the end, you know, the heartbreak and hardships can, like, only help you go up from there.
Because I don't think you can grow as a person without experiencing hardships, especially like a breakup. That's like, personally at least, I feel like there's worse things out there, but like a breakup is so painful.
It's the one thing that happens emotionally that I can actually feel physically. Like,
that's so true. Like, painful. You feel your heart break, quite literally.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all relate to this, but I was like in pain, like when I went through my breakup. And a really close friend of mine, I was with her when her and her boyfriend broke up, and she was throwing up. Like, she was throwing up all night long because she was so sick to her stomach about what happened. And I think it's crazy. For me, it was... Ow, my jaw just popped. For me, I quite literally feel heaviness in my heart when I have experienced, like, a breakup. And it's like, I don't ever want to feel that ever again when it happens. But at the same time, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I wouldn't have found who I am today, like, without it. At least in terms of, like, who I am as a person, like what I want in a relationship, or what I want in my friendships, or what I want from my family, you know. Like, you grow a lot as a person, and you always, like, I have to find myself after a breakup, you know. That's usually how it goes. Because you do.
It's so true. Like, what else can you do? You know, you have more free time you have more time with yourself when you're kind of in that solidarity.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot about yourself. You learn things that you don't like, and you learn things that you do like. So, and in the end, I think, at least because I'm hopeless romantic, you know, you're going to be better for your next partner. Yeah. And that's usually how it is. Oh my gosh, but at the same time, bro, it hurts me at the same time, because it's like, they are going to be the same to their next partner. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going through right now. It's like, why couldn't you have been better during the relationship?
Yeah, for me.
Made me feel like I wasn't enough, even though they said otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I think with that whole thing, it's like, everything happens for a reason, right? And it's like, you're saying this now because obviously you're in, like, you're in the middle of it happening. But, you know, when you do find that person that you're better for, and you have a better relationship out of, and the person you meet went through their breakup or whatever, and you guys come together, and it's this amazing, extravagant, everything that you wanted in a relationship, you're gonna look back and be like, oh yeah, like, I didn't work out with him or her because I learned from him so I could be in my relationship now that's, like, amazing. And at that point, it's like, like, you'll just feel love for, like, your ex, and, like,
I
will want
definitely
that
feel like
for
sure.
him. And it's like, oh, like, he's gonna be happy with whoever he ends up being with, and I'm gonna be happy with whoever I'm being with. And we were in love, and I'm thankful for that time
Exactly.
that we had.
I appreciate it. Even, like, the toxic relationships that I've had, you know, I feel like that helped me grow a lot. I think, though, I know you talked about this, the toxic relationship was a lot easier to grow from than a healthy, like, breakup. You know, and your perspective is a lot different than mine, but when it came to the toxic breakup, I came out of it feeling like a better person, because I knew that, like, I didn't do anything wrong, therefore, like, I'm better than them, and I can grow from this a lot faster and heal from it faster. Meanwhile, it's like, if it was like a mutual thing, it's a lot harder, because how do you grow from it when you know that there's still, like, a lot of love there? You know, and I'm still stuck on that, because it's so hard. Like, I don't get it, because in my head I'm like, well, if we still love each other, you know, why are we doing this type of thing? Like, why are we not together? So, like, tell them your experience, because I still to this point I'm still confused on how you're seeing it and your perspective.
The story time. I was in a relationship in high school, and we were very much in love with each other. But then I think we both loved each other enough to understand that we were both going to college, and it was going to be long distance, like different state kind of long distance, and you're a freshman in college. We both were going to join Greek life. We both knew we were going to be meeting new people, going out partying, and we just didn't want to put that strain on each other. Like, we didn't want to put the strain of a long distance, being that young, being in college, we knew all these different people, and feeling like we were just holding each other back from all of it. So we decided to end our relationship before we left the college. And then in my experience, that was easier for me to deal with over a very more, I guess, toxic relationship where it wasn't as mutual. It wasn't mutual at all. That fool fucking left me. Love you. Thank you for leaving me, because I would not have had the guts to leave. But yeah, I got left in the dust, and
it's okay. Sure, you came out better.
Yeah,
right? That's like literally my thing. You came out of that relationship better than, like, you expected.
Yeah.
But the thing with your healthy one was just that the love was still there, and I guess I'm just too into my, like, K-dramas where, like, they're like, oh, I hate you, therefore it's easier to leave you. I guess that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
The love is still there, so it's a lot harder to leave when you know it's still there.
But you have to remember that hate goes away. Like,
love always stays.
Yeah, it's like anger and all of that. You know, the 7 stages of denial or grief. Yeah, like, one of the first stages is, like, hate and anger.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like hate is one of the main, like, things you go through, and then it passes. Like, every emotion, it's gonna go away, and then you're left there thinking, like, oh, I miss you, like, oh, or you're sad and you're like, oh, because that's how I was. Like, my last relationship, like, I hated him, like, when he left me. Like, he left me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I literally, all I did in this whole last relationship was love you. Like, all I wanted was us to be happy and blah blah blah, all of this stuff. And I was like, how dare you leave me and stuff. And I was like, I hate you, blah blah blah, you're just a freaking dumb whatever, all the bad words. and then it went away, and then I was just crying, and it was like, and that's why I feel like it was very painful for me, because I went through all of the
stages,
the hate, the depression, the bargaining. It was like I hated him, and then the next month I was just sad, and I was like, why did he leave me? I wasn't good enough. Like, I wasn't good enough to stay and fight for, and I wasn't.
I feel that so hard.
Or like, I wasn't good enough for him to want to work things out, and he left me, blah, blah, blah. And then it was...
But you are enough.
Yeah, of course.
He just couldn't handle it.
You know, whatever. He just wasn't my end game.
No.
My foot is itchy, sorry. But yeah, and then... Because it makes you question... I think that's why it's hard for me, the toxic one, because it really made me question my self-worth. Because I think in the mutual one, when we both knew we still loved each other, I knew he still loved me. So it's like I knew I was still worthy of being... I think that's what it is. I
see it differently.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I said, I came out of that knowing I was the better person.
Mm-hmm.
But for this healthy one, I saw it as we're both good people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. Maybe I'm just like a spiteful person.
Yeah, if you're honest with yourself.
Well, we are learning about ourselves, right?
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know, because I think that's why, because like, yeah, I think, because you said you both know that you guys love each other, so doesn't that make you feel like, oh, like, I'm still worthy to be loved because he still loves me? It's just,
the timing
I think
wasn't
you
right.
can still love someone,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe you guys just aren't in love like that.
Oh.
You know?
I like that perspective.
In that sense, because that's how I felt with Max in high school. It's like, I knew that I still loved him and he still loved me very much. And we both knew that we were both worthy of being in love and with each other. It's just, we weren't in love anymore. Like,
I see.
We both grew, we both went to college, we both found ourselves, found our people, created this new identity, and they just didn't match.
I like that. Like, you really can love somebody without being in love with that person. You guess loving from afar is the best thing for that situation.
Yeah, and I think you guys loved each other enough to where, you know, I love you enough to know that I'm not the best for you and you're not the best for me, and I just want the best for you, even if it's not me.
We can grow individually as people, just we can't do it together. Maybe not now, but I'm not holding out hope. That's too heavy on my heart. But dang, okay. I like that perspective. See, now that makes sense.
That's why we spill the tea.
We are spilling the tea.
Because honestly, it's not for you guys. It's for us to figure out our shit.
This is why we're doing this, mainly for ourselves, right? So let's leave them with one lesson. Do you want to start?
Love. I think the biggest lesson that I learned about love is, gosh, I had it. Is to, just, I think it's very important to understand that love shouldn't be sought out because of lack, but because of abundance. And I think it's important to be cheesy and do all the extravagant, romanticized things for yourself, because that's what life's all about, you know, doing the cheesy, freaking holding the boombox outside, dancing in the middle of the road, like whatever you want to do with your love, but do it for yourself, you know, like
put yourself first.
Yeah, buy yourself the big bouquet of flowers, leave yourself the love notes, grab your own booty, I don't know. Like, do whatever you need to feel your love without, you know, cockiness, you know, all that, whatever. Stay humble. Narcissistic, whatever. It's like, it's just your self-love because you care about yourself. And I think once you get that figured out, and once you have that foundation for yourself, you're going to have so much abundance in that love. It just overflows. And then that special someone, whoever it is going to be attracted to that. And they're going to come to you. And you don't even have to try or second guess. Yes, you'll be scared because love is scary. But like we said, I think it's totally worth the risk. Yeah, it's totally worth the risk and jumping for that experience.
It's so exciting too, though. Love, isn't it?
Yeah.
guess my lesson, that at least from like my own experiences, is don't be afraid to love, because it's easy when you're heartbroken or if you've never experienced it to put up walls, because it's scary. But at the same time, there's just so much excitement to it. Why would you like stop yourself from experiencing that? No. But at the same time,
YOLO.
at the same time, know yourself, like you said. Understand your boundaries. Understand like what you want and what you don't like. Bring that into the relationship and, you know, grow. Grow together. But yeah, just don't be afraid to love. No, it's hard.
All you need is love.
Period.
Yeah.
Where is the love, actually?
Where's the love, y'all? I don't know. What's the truth, y'all? If you don't know that song, you're too young to listen to this.
Or you're not Filipino. Anyway, thanks, guys, for spilling the tea with us.
Thanks for spilling the tea and sharing a cup of love.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.